Hey guys, so I just wanted to film a video going over my struggle with acne and how I was able to clear up my face. If you would like to find out the products that I use and kind of like a little mini sort of review, then please keep watching. Thanks. So I really wanted to share this video because I remember how horrible it felt when I was struggling with acne, and I'm hoping that this video can help just a few people out there. That would be really awesome for me. I just remember feeling so horrible that I wanted to hide my face all of the time from everybody. I didn't want to go out in public, and when I did, I literally loaded my face up with makeup, and most of the time ended up making my acne actually look worse than without makeup, so that was really depressing. I do want to start by saying I'm not a doctor, I'm not a dermatologist. This is just what has helped me. Also, I do want to mention my skin is not perfect. I still get the occasional breakout during that time of the month. It happens. I can't really help it. It is what it is. But I have found something that does help significantly. So I guess I'll share a little bit about my story first. Growing up in my teenage years, I had pretty great skin actually. I didn't have a whole lot of acne, hormonal acne, so during that time of the month I had a few breakouts, but it wasn't too bad and it went away pretty quickly. Fast forward to 27, 28 years old, I was working for a company and I was working about 18 hours a day, and I literally was working from probably 3 o'clock in the morning until midnight, and so needless to say, I wasn't getting very much sleep. I was probably sleeping maybe 1 to 2 hours a day a night, and I was dealing with really bad anxiety. So as I had been doing this for a couple of months, I noticed that I started getting what looked like to me was a rash on my forehead. It started on my forehead, literally started spreading down my face. So it went from my forehead to my cheeks, to my chin, to my neck, my jawline, my chest, everywhere. It was so bad that I thought it was an allergic reaction to something. I tried changing my diet, I tried changing my laundry detergent, I tried changing a lot of things, and it just kept spreading. So I became really frustrated, and I ended up actually going to a dermatologist in my area, and immediately they told me it was acne. I was completely shocked. I hadn't even considered acne as something that was wrong with my skin. They prescribed me antibiotics and 2 topical medications, one to put on in the morning and one to put on at night. And I started taking the antibiotics and using both of those topical medications, and within probably 2 to 3 weeks, my skin was almost completely clear. It worked so quickly. I was very impressed, and I started feeling like my old self again, and I was really happy. About a year later, I was still taking the antibiotics, and my husband and I had kind of been talking about potentially starting a family and getting pregnant. So the dermatologist did mention that at that point I should discontinue using the topical medications and the antibiotics. So a couple of months before we started trying, I stopped using everything, and I just hoped and prayed that my skin would look the same. I knew in the back of my mind that probably wasn't the case, but I was hoping. So I actually didn't know I was pregnant yet, but my skin was okay for a couple of months, and then about 4 months later, I had this huge rash again that started on my forehead. It looked a little different than it did the first time, so I was just hoping it would go away. And about a week later, I took a pregnancy test and I found out that I was pregnant. So that pretty much explained the acne flare-up. During my pregnancy, my skin was so-so. It wasn't good, it wasn't bad. It had its moments where it would be clear, and then it had its moments where it would not be clear. And I used the things that I knew were safe and just kind of waited it out basically. After giving birth, my skin freaked out yet again. of course. It wasn't bad enough that I had gained 60 pounds from pregnancy, and I was learning how to be a new mom, and I had a really rough delivery, so I was dealing with all of that, plus hormones and acne. So I got really frustrated around like the 3-week mark, and I ended up going back to the dermatologist again. And since I was breastfeeding, she basically told me that the products that I could use were pretty limited. It was a sulfur wash and some benzoyl peroxide for topical medication. I actually left there feeling incredibly discouraged. I was just struggling with a lot at the time, and acne was like the last thing I wanted to deal with. So I ended up getting in touch with a friend of a friend on Facebook, and she's a Rodan and Fields rep, and she suggested the Unblemish line. Well, before I had even finished discussing anything with her, I went and I looked up all of the active ingredients for the Unblemish line, and it was funny because it was sulfur wash and benzoyl peroxide. So I was looking at a ton of before and after photos of a lot of the Rodan and Fields products, and I was completely blown away. And I was actually pretty skeptical at first, but then I kind of mulled it over for a couple of days, and I got really fed up, and I just decided I'd bite the bullet. The one thing I will say is that the Unblemish line is kind of expensive, but at that point I was so frustrated that I didn't care. So I went for it and I did it. And I got it in took about 5 days, and I got it in the mail. And within the first 3 weeks I saw a pretty significant improvement in my skin. And by about 6 weeks, I saw a huge improvement in my acne. And not only did I see an improvement in my acne, but when I was getting new blemishes that would pop up, they would be gone within 2 days. So the timing between each breakout was getting less and less. My current acne was clearing up, and each time I did get a new blemish, it would be gone so quick. By week 8, I was completely sold on these products, and I knew that I was going to continue to purchase and repurchase and repurchase them. I absolutely cannot say enough about this line. It's been such a life-changing thing for me. I can leave the house now without actually wearing any makeup on my face, and I feel great. I do get the occasional breakouts, like once again, you know, during that time of the month I do break out, and but they go away pretty quickly. So even if it's a pretty bad breakout, and I haven't been getting any of that like cystic acne on my jawline anymore, it's just regular normal acne that goes away pretty quickly. The last thing I want to say is that it makes me really sad, because I feel like our society, if you don't look a certain way, then you're not beautiful, or if you have acne, you can't be beautiful. And I would really encourage you to, you know, be happy in your skin and know that it's what's on the inside, not the outside, that matters. You know, we've been fearfully and wonderfully made by God, and you are beautiful no matter what. And you know, what's important is what is on the inside, your heart, and that is what is important. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I was able to help somebody. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.